I would like to welcome everybody to Washington High School here for our press conference in announcing our 2020 Distinguished Citizens Group. It is my great honor as the high school principal here to be able to share this information with you that are all in this room, as well as out there watching in your family rooms and or on your mobile devices or computers. It is a great honor for me as a high school principal. This is one of my wonderful things that I get to do as a high school principal is to inform those people that have been chosen as distinguished citizens here and have given so much back to our community and have represented Washington High School so well. Without further ado, I would love to announce the class of distinguished citizens for 2020. The first of our distinguished citizens is Mr. Edward Grier. Edward Grier is a 1951 graduate of Washington High School. He then graduated from Kent State University in 1959 with a degree in sociology. Mr. Grier also served 4 years in the United States Air Force, where he attained the rank of Buck Sergeant or Airman First Class. Throughout his career, Mr. Grier served as a police officer for the Massillon Police Department. He was the third African-American police officer in the city of Massillon. He also was the Equal Employment Director, the Drug Coordinator, and Civil Service Director for the city of Massillon. He has received many community service awards throughout his life, including the Community Service Award for the Massillon branch of the NAACP in 1975. He has assisted hundreds and hundreds of persons in the Massillon area gain employment over the years. He has been president of the Parks and Rec Board, chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeals, member of the Mayor's Minority Recruitment Committee, treasurer of the Benchwarmers, member of the Community Restoration Center of Stark County, member of the SARTA Board, and weekly TV program on MCTV called The Minority Report with Ed Grier. It gives me great pleasure in welcoming Edward Grier to the class of 2020 for Washington High School as one of our distinguished citizens. Next on our list that will be representing us in April is Rodney Klein. Rodney Klein graduated from Washington High School in 1953. He continued his education in business at Western Reserve University, Dartmouth College, receiving his master's degree in business at Columbia University in 1959 and the University of California. A successful businessman and economist, he worked on a nationally syndicated radio show called The World of Money, was a financial advisor to Howard Hughes, founded investment groups, and authored a book, Benjamin Graham on Investing. His passion for Wall Street led him to establish Wall Street Books, a corporation dedicated to buying and selling rare books on the financial market. In 2006, Rodney Klein bought the former Massillon Post Office with plans to turn it into a museum to house his stock market collection. In 2009, he died from complications of emphysema, though he never smoked a day in his life. I would love to welcome Rodney Klein to the 2020 class of distinguished citizens. Our next distinguished citizen is Dennis Franklin. Dennis Franklin was a 1971 graduate of Massillon Washington High School. Under Coach Bob Cummings, Dennis Franklin was a 2-year starting quarterback. Dennis led Massillon to its last state championship in 1970 when the Tigers went 10-0 and outscored their opponents 412-29. In a key Week 4 matchup with state-ranked Niles, Franklin led his team to a 22-3 comeback victory. He also scored all 3 touchdowns in a 22-0 victory over Warren Harding and was involved in 4 touchdowns against Trotwood Madison. The magical season was then punctuated by a 28-0 victory over previously undefeated Canton McKinley. Recruited by legendary University of Michigan head coach Bo Schembechler, he started for the Wolverines all 3 seasons that he was eligible from 1972 to 1974. He was the first black starter at quarterback for Michigan. Dennis Franklin is one of the all-time great quarterbacks at the University of Michigan. He compiled a 32-1 record as a starter at Michigan, sharing the Big Ten championship all 3 seasons. He ran for 1,212 yards and passed for 2,285 yards in his career. He finished 6th in the 1974 Heisman Trophy voting after being named to the first-team All-Big Ten team. He was chosen in the 6th round by the Detroit Lions of the 1975 NFL Draft. He played 9 games for the Lions over the 1975 and 1976 seasons. After football, Dennis, his career path was in marketing, advertising sales at radio station WWJ in Detroit. From there to TV sales at WDIV in Detroit. Dennis then moved to syndication sales with King World Productions in Chicago and then in New York. They provide such programs as Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and Oprah. Dennis spent 13 years at King's World, and he reached the level of vice president. Mr. Franklin moved to California and is currently in the real estate market. Congratulations to Dennis Franklin as our 3rd member of the Distinguished Citizens Class of 2020 here at Washington High School. Our final member of this elite group of distinguished citizens is Jeff Timmons. Jeff Timmons is a 1991 graduate of Massillon, Washington High School. Jeff Timmons is the founding member of the internationally acclaimed, multi-platinum, Grammy-nominated selling group 98 Degrees, which has sold over 15 million albums with 4 top radio singles. The group produced mega hits such as The Hardest Thing, I Do, Because of You, and the #1 hit single featuring Mariah Carey called Thank God I Found You. The group also collaborated with Stevie Wonder on the song True to Your Heart on the soundtrack for Disney's hit animated feature Mulan. 98 Degrees' albums have reached gold or platinum status in more than 60 countries around the world. 98 Degrees won numerous awards, including a Teen Choice Award, Radio Music Award for Song of the Year for Uno Noche, and several MTV TRL accolades. After his success with 98 Degrees, Jeff embarked on his solo career by touring with Jim Brickman, and then single-handedly wrote and produced his first solo album, which was released as a joint venture with Rising Phoenix and SLG Music. Jeff has performed at the White House twice, has made appearances on the Grammys, The Tonight Show, the American Music Awards, the Teen Choice Awards, MTV's Total Request Live, Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve, and many more. In 2011, Jeff embarked as a solo artist on the Greatest Hits Tour in Southeast Asia with international supergroups A1 and Blue. The tour was extremely successful and was seen by tens of thousands of fans in the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. The 2013 blockbuster Package Tour with his fellow 98 Degrees, also featuring the New Kids on the Block and Boys to Men, sold out arenas in every city they visited. The Package Tour became the highest grossing tour in the year 2013. In November of 2013, Jeff took his project Men of the Strip on a 42-city, sold-out club tour, and E! Network filmed a documovie. The show aired in May of 2014 and an overall viewership of around 90 million worldwide. In early 2015, Jeff released a dance single through upscale Damen Universal Music called That Girl, which was a commercial success. Recently, Jeff executive produced a TV series called Droned for Discovery Science. Last Christmas, 98 Degrees headlined the 32-city 98 Degrees at Christmas tour. 98 Degrees will continue touring this summer in as many as 40 cities in the United States. Jeff is developing projects for emerging acts like solo artist Nicole Michelle and the boy band tribute act Overnight. He has several TV, film, and music projects in development for 2020. So welcome again to Jeff Timmons as our final distinguished member of the class of 2020. It's an incredible opportunity to be able to share this news again with everybody in this particular room at the Media Center at Washington High School, along with those that are watching obviously the tape version at home. This year's Distinguished Citizens Week will be held April 1st through April 3rd. Highlights of that particular week will include on Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, all of the distinguished members will have tea and will be introduced to our Washington High School staff in the Media Center, which is a great honor for me to introduce those members to our Washington High School staff. On Thursday, April 2nd, 2020, it will be the Hammersmith Mayor's Welcome Breakfast at Cosmos. The assembly on Thursday, we will have presentations by two of our distinguished citizens here at Washington High School, where our students will be able to see and listen to two of the members of that particular class on that Thursday in the morning. The Rotary Lunch that day on April 2nd will be at the Eagles 190. The Massillon tour will then will follow that, narrated by a member of the Massillon Area Chamber of Commerce. And finally, on Friday in the morning, we will have another presentation for our students here at Washington High School, where they will see the other two members of our distinguished class and citizens of 2020. We'll have that here in the high school, where there'll be a presentation and a question and answer session for all the honorees. After that, there will be a buffet lunch served in the Media Center here at the high school during our lunch periods for our honorees to meet and greet students, staff, and all administration. Finally, that Friday evening, we will have a banquet. The banquet will be at St. George Cultural Center in Massillon, where the social hour begins at 5:30 and the dinner begins at 6:30. Tickets, which I know everybody will want to pay attention to this, tickets will go on sale in February. For tickets or information related to the Distinguished Citizens Banquet and Ceremony can be tickets can be purchased and more information can be held through Mr. Chuck Richards here at the high school at 330-830-3901 at extension 51409 or atcrichards@massillonschools.org. It is a great, great privilege, as I have said, to be able to hold this press conference and announce our distinguished class of citizens for the year 2020. It is a great pleasure of mine to always show our students here at the high school, all 1,200 of them, to help them understand that everything is possible with hard work and a dream, as well as the vision to go along with that dream. So I'm very, very thankful for this opportunity to have this press conference, to introduce their names to you, to the community, and we look forward to having you here either at the high school or at the banquet throughout the week of April 1st through the 3rd. Thank you.